Hey guys, what is going on? It is Cap Gaming here. I have just finished the Call of Duty Cold War campaign. Now, I haven't gone through and gotten everything done quite yet. I'm going to have to go back through and play it, but this is my spoiler-free review, so I'm not going to be going in-depth on the campaign. This is just going to be like, overall, what did I think of the campaign? First thing I'm going to talk about is the actual gameplay of the campaign. I think the gameplay of the campaign is actually really, really good. It feels comfortable, and it doesn't feel slow and it doesn't feel too fast. There's parts where it can be a little hard, but that's good because there's been a lot of Call of Duties recently that just seem too easy. For me, I was playing on Recruit just because I wanted to get the gameplay footage, things like that. But I tried playing it on a harder difficulty and it was actually pretty difficult. Whereas like Black Ops 3, you could go through that campaign on realistic and be perfectly fine because all you have to do is use your active camo and you could easily beat that campaign. But this campaign actually had some difficult sections, but it also had some easy sections. And there was a lot of story development in this. I'm not going to go in depth on the story, I'm just going to overall say what I thought of the story. Overall, I think the story does really well, considering that it's sandwiched between two different campaigns. I mean, it's supposed to be, it comes after Black Ops 1 because they actually bring up a Black Ops 1 reference, which you would expect. And then there also is an Easter egg about Black Ops 2. I don't know if it's an Easter egg or if it was meant to be found. It was about like Raul Menendez in the universe, but I don't know if that was just an Easter egg or if they're still trying to connect it to Black Ops 2. Second thing I want to talk about is the campaign's voice acting. So for me, the voice acting was a little off. I actually do like the actor who plays Woods. A lot of people were complaining because it was a new voice actor, but I think the voice actor who played Woods in this game was actually really good. He did a really good job. The only problem I have with him was like if it was a really intense situation, I think the guy couldn't get the voice if it was like if he was yelling. So I think it just sounded a little weird because he sounds like he's whispering when he should be like yelling because he's like get down and it'd be like get down or something like that. But the voice actor for Mason, while I don't think he's a bad voice actor by any means, it just wasn't the same. The one for Hudson was pretty good as well. And all of the new characters, I do like their voice actors. I was just bringing up the old ones because of what we had heard or what we had seen. One problem I have with the campaign so far, I do play on Xbox One, so that might be why. But there are some parts of the cutscenes on the Xbox One, so I'm not going to talk about the cutscenes, but like whenever there's realistic photos or like videos from the actual Vietnam War, the game goes down to like 3 frames per second. The audio still goes at the same speed. It's just the actual video you're watching, the frames drop, which I just found really weird. I thought it was my game crashing, so I was actually going to record and upload the entire campaign straight through on the first day it came out, but I wasn't able to do that since it was a little hard for me to get that stuff down. But during the cutscenes where it's the actual characters, so like when Adler's talking and you actually see his character model, it's synced up perfectly and it runs at the same frame rate. So it's a little weird. You guys will understand what I'm saying if you were to see it. I don't have footage of it because it just hurt my head too much to watch. But now moving on to the plot twists and connection things. So I'm not going to talk much about this, but the plot twist I actually did enjoy. I didn't really see it coming, but then I went back through, like the mission you guys are watching now, there's actually a few signs from the plot twist that appear in this mission that you don't see the first time through. I'm not going to talk much about that. That's about all I'm going to say about the plot twists because I don't want to spoil the game for you guys. Another thing about the plot twist that could be bad is that some of them are very obvious, but that's to be expected. They want you to like have a hint, but I didn't notice it at all. I had a feeling that something weird was happening because so this isn't a spoiler, but when you load into the campaign, you play the first mission as Mason, and you don't get to talk as Mason. I wish your characters had voices. I understand why. Okay, when you get to the second mission, you actually make your own character. You like use your name, everything you can do. You choose whether you're male or female, things like that. And then after that, I understand why they don't have you talk or they don't have your voice there because they want you to be that soldier. They don't want it to be another person. They want you to be that person. Kind of like what Black Ops 3 was, except for they had Black Ops 3's character talk because it just said player. They had him talk though, which was a little weird. But the reason they don't want you to, like, they didn't want to have a voice was so that way you felt like a soldier. It's kind of like Halo, because when Master Chief didn't talk, you felt, or like Noble Six didn't talk, or Master Chief doesn't talk, you feel like you're that soldier. It's not like them being the character and you being just this person playing as this character. The last thing I want to talk about, actually there's two things I want to talk about. First of all, this game did a really good job at making the collectibles important. Because there's been some games where the collectibles haven't been important at all. Like, you just get them for an achievement. But in this game, there's a little side mission going on, so when you get the collectibles and the evidence, it actually builds up towards that, so that way you can complete this specific side quest of the campaign. I don't know much about that. That's the one thing. I've got to go back through the campaign, and I've got to look for a whole bunch of stuff. So that's all I know about that. Lastly, I want to talk about the ending. I don't want to spoil it, but for me, the campaign itself had this really amazing build-up. And it did really well at, like, setting this up. Other than, like, the main villain, you don't really feel like he's a villain, but you just know that you need to stop him because of this. I don't really care for the main villain, but I do enjoy a lot of the side villains who you are going after during most of the campaign. But at the end, it just kind of, it depends on how you feel about it. For me, I wasn't a very big fan of this ending of the game, but you guys might be a fan. It all depends on what you do throughout the campaign. That might change your ending a little bit and their thoughts on the ending. So I don't want to talk much about it. Mine was a very lackluster, I think, because with decisions you make, they've got to change the ending, obviously, so that's to be expected. But anyways, guys, that's all I'm going to talk about in the spoiler-free video. If you get done with the campaign and want to watch the next video where I actually talk about my spoilers and give my actual thoughts on the game, it'll be in the next video. If I had to rate the campaign, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5 out of 10, just for the fact of the ending. And I'm not a huge fan of multiple endings, but I get it in this game because they want to give you decisions. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.